Hey, this video is going to be a brief overview of using your school email, but the concepts I'm going to talk about translate to almost any email program you use for the rest of your life. But in this case, we're talking school email. So if you log into Office 365 through Centennial Middle School website, you're going to see an app called Outlook. Outlook is your student email. There is a desktop version or local version of the Outlook app that you can find, but for students, it hasn't worked super hot. And then if you don't have it installed in your home machine or any other computer you use, you can't get to it. So I would say cloud-based Outlook through Office 365 always. When you go in, it looks something like this. We're going to focus on how to send a new email. If you click New, that's going to bring up a box with a new message. And when I click in the To field, I can start typing names. Now, sometimes you have to know somebody's actual email, whatever it is, at whatever, dot whatever. In school, you might be able to find someone who you need through their last name. For example, Mr. Cameron. I'm going to send him an email. So I'm going to type Cameron, and then there we go. I have Mr. Cameron, and I can just click him right there. Now, sometimes people you know at school will be populated like this. Sometimes they won't. So sometimes you might have to actually type in the real email address. Sometimes you won't. For you guys, your email is first.last@studentssd.org. It's like Student Snohomish School District, ssd.org. Any of your friends are generally speaking first.last@studentssd.org. Any teacher is first.last@snow.wednet.edu. Now you'd have to know your teacher's first and last name in order to do that, but that's where the teacher's emails are at. So that's the To field. CC, this thing right here, this is for when you're sending an email to somebody, but you want somebody else to see it. Here's an example that might show up for you guys. Maybe you're in Mr. Cameron's class and you're sending him an email, but you really want to impress your folks and let them know that you're being responsible in sending an email. You would put your parents' email right here. If you put your parents' email right here, in that case, they would see that they are CC'd in on the email, but they'd also see that you're not sending it to them. You just want them to see that you've sent it. In the subject line, usually try to just do like a few word summary. I try to shoot for like 3 to 4 words to summarize what I'm writing my email message about, and then I write my message right here. Now, this is your school email. When you go get a job someday, you will by far and away, very likely, have work email. Your work and your school email, you should send things that are generally speaking only related to work and school. Usually, one good reason is because it's not private. If you send things through work or school email, the people you work for or the school district you work at or are part of, anybody can see that stuff if they need to. It's not private. If you use your own private like Gmail account through a website, that stuff is fairly private. Now, can the government see it? Yeah, probably if they wanted to. Do they care? Probably not. But you should have no expectation of privacy in a school email. So make sure you're only sending things that you would be comfortable if they were broadcast to every single person you knew for the rest of your life. Because it's not private. Someone can access this stuff, and the expectation is you're using it for school or work. So that's a brief overview of an email. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to send someone that you know an email, and I want you to CC me in on it to complete this assignment.